Arceus was first introduced in the Generation 4 games Diamond, Pearl, and Platinum. Arceus has often been referred to the alpha or godlike Pokemon. But Starkiller, you may ask. There are a lot of religions with a godlike being, or gods, so why Christianity? Well, as a Christian myself, I've seen and often thought about the many similarities between the Arceus story and Christianity. Again, there's only about 1% of Christians who live in Japan today, so why wouldn't they base the origin story of Pokemon on, say, Shinto or Buddhism, which are the main religions in Japan? I know living in the UK here that the Western world is fascinated with other faiths, religions, and myths around the world. So Japan could just be fascinated with the Christian faith like we are with other places. Genesis, the first book of the Bible, states that in the beginning God created the heavens and earth, and that the earth was basically nothing while God was hovering over the empty waters. Arceus hatched from an egg. Now the beginning of these gods was very different, as Arceus had a beginning, but God was always there. Let's move on. We know that God created angels before creating the heavens and the earth. How long is not known. With Arceus, after he came into existence, he created Dialga, Palkia, and Giratina. Maybe we can make comparisons between Arceus' creations and God's creations as their angels. We'll get on to Giratina and his punishment a little later. In the Bible, there is a symbolic and illustrative use of describing Jesus as a lamb, the Lamb of God. This is an integral message for Christianity, as lambs were often used as a blood sacrifice, or you've heard of a lamb to the slaughter. Jesus sacrificed himself to save us on the cross like a lamb. Arceus appears to have the appearance of a lamb. The God of Christianity loves these creations deeply, as he is a God of love. There are a few key people who have had a really close relationship with God, like Noah and Moses. The Lord would speak to Moses face to face, like someone would speak to a friend. A similarity can be drawn here with Arceus when he would often meet with Deimos. You could say they were close friends. The next massive similarity between the two is that in Christianity, God was very angry with the wickedness of man. The earth was corrupt and filled with violence, and in the imagination of thoughts was only evil. Arceus was very angry with Deimos' betrayal, and he said that he would judge the earth. Sound familiar? In the Bible, it says in the book of Revelations that God will judge the earth and cause destruction for those who aren't saved. God did judge the earth with a flood, only sparing Noah and his family. Arceus was going to judge without forgiveness though. Let's carry on. In a show of gratitude for Deimos saving Arceus' life, he created the Jewel of Life to help Deimos land. But he would later have to collect the Jewel of Life as Arceus couldn't live without it. In Christianity, Jesus Christ sacrificed himself on the cross to save sinners. These are very similar, as Arceus would be killed in a similar way, but by electric attacks from other Pokemon and almost buried alive. Although Arceus didn't want to sacrifice himself, he did create a big risk giving Deimos his life plates. Now let's move on to Giratina, the renegade Pokemon. Giratina design is a dragon-like serpent. In the Garden of Eden, the devil took the form of a serpent. Coincidence? I think not. Giratina's original form has 6 wings, 6 ribs, and 6 spikes. And an alternative form has 6 rib cages, 6 spikes, and 6 legs. In the Bible, the devil's number is said to be 666. And lastly, going back to the start of the theory, Arceus banished Giratina for its aggressive nature to the distortion world. In Christianity, God banished Lucifer, or Satan, for wanting the power of God for his own, and sent him to hell. In conclusion, I think the evidence is overwhelming, don't you? Game Freak definitely used aspects of Christianity as inspiration for the Pokemon creation story. and Arceus and Giratina. Thanks for watching. What do you guys think? I'll see you all next time.